just after 3 o'clock in the team hotel the early hours of this morning. The players were out of their beds for about half an hour, and as you can imagine, the party wasn't best pleased. They thought it was deliberate. In fact, the hotel insists that it was just an accident, an unfortunate coincidence on a big night before a game. But I say the Greeks are unhappy about that. But Andy, can they cause England any sleepless nights?
I think the big worry, Richard, was that a shadowy figure like Martin Tyler's was seen wandering about the corridor of that hotel at 3 a.m. in the morning, though. No, I think they'll be okay, Martin. I mean, it's upsetting not to get a full and undisturbed night's sleep before a big game. I think every footballer likes to do that. But I think when it's a game such as this, and don't forget, the Greeks know how important this is for England. They know they're coming to a big, big game. I think the fact that they were out of bed for half an hour, I don't think it'll affect them in any way at all today. Certainly not playing football anyway.
And Richard, the weather's a bit like Greece here. Certainly the warmest it's been this week. We'll see how that affects England. Back to you.
I am not getting involved in that Mancunian weather debate, Martin Tyler. It's England against Greece, live here on Sky Sports 1. If you want to see how Germany get on at the same one goal, a penalty. The only time, by the way, that Greece avoided defeat, that was in a goalless draw in the European Championship against Bobby Robson's side at Wembley in March 1983. We can do without that today. And not surprisingly, I think the bookies see England as strong favourites here. It's Old Trafford, it's England, one more push, and we're going to the World Cup finals. Let's join Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thank you, Richard. England's biggest football ground kept in reserve for the final countdown to qualification. Remember, Sven-Göran Eriksson fielded the same 11 in both September matches, and one assumes he would love to have said same again. But Seaman, Campbell and Owen all unfit. Nigel Martin steps out of the shadows in goal. Martin Keown's return to fitness has been neatly timed to stand in for Sol. The choice as Michael's replacement has produced huge debate over the past couple of weeks. The man who matters has said it's Robbie Fowler. So still 4 Liverpool players, 2 each from Arsenal and Leeds, and 3 Neville, Beckham and Scholes on Manchester United home soil. After their 5-1 flop in Finland, plenty of changes for Greece, as you would expect, 7 in all, with the hapless goalkeeper Eleftheropoulos dropping himself from the squad. Nikopolidis from Panathinaikos takes over. He helped beat Arsenal 10 days ago in the Champions League, as did defenders Fisas and Bokolos and the goalscorer Karagounis. Kasapis and Nikolaidis have been persuaded to end 2 years of self-imposed exile from the national team. 1 former Premiership player in Zagorakis and 1 current, Newcastle's Nikos Dabizas. Andy.
Thank you, Martin. Changes, you say, in the personnel for Sven-Göran Eriksson, but I don't expect to see any change in the system. He does like it, and it's one he's played. It'll be a back 4. I've always said I think England is a national side. The players are happier going in like that. And with Neville, Ferdinand, Keown and Ashley Cole, it's a solid back 4. Important that the 2 centre-backs for 90 minutes are concentrated defensively. I think the other 2 today, the 2 full-backs, I think Mr. Eriksson will be looking for them to push forward on either side. Gary Neville on that side, and certainly Ashley Cole on that side to get forward and help as much as possible and provide with the width. And I think that's what they'll both try to do there. In midfield, well, we know all about the quartet of players. You expect it's same again. This was out against the Germans with the skipper on the right-hand side. Steven Gerrard will probably be the holding player of all 4 of them, if there is going to be one. Paul Scholes, with his eye for a goal, will be encouraged, I think, from minute 1 to get forward and supplement the front 2. And Nicky Bambi, again, another player who I think has got an eye for a goal. You have 4 players there, all of them capable of scoring at this level. Fantastic to have that in your side. And then he's gone 1 off up front and 1 off. That's what he's tended to play. 1 up top all the time. But that tends to happen when England lose the ball. One of the front men drops a little bit deeper as a starting position. But I think today you might find that both front men are up pretty much in the face of the Greek defenders, trying to push them back and keep them pinned in there. For the Greeks, well, it'll be damage limitation, we're not sure, Mark, but it looks like they're going to go in with certainly a 3 at the back. Konstantinidis as a sweeper, and we think he will be a definite sweeper. And then ahead of that, they've got Vokalos and Dabizas, who will see if they man-for-man mark. Whether they'll just mark zonally, not sure.
Both very strong in the air.
Both good in the air, and will enjoy a physical struggle. 2 wide players here as wing-backs. Now, I think that's where England will try and double up on them. Try and get Neville and Ashley Cole in tandem with Beckham and Bambi, and maybe try and double up 2v1 on that side. How much protection they get from their midfield trio might determine how well England do, Martin. It'll be interesting to see if all their work is back towards their own goal, and whether they can influence it the other way, because Nicolaides up front, they've got certainly experience, and then and the young 21-year-old Haristes, who's only had 6 internationals with 3 starts, but he's already got 3 goals. So there is a goal threat there if they can get the ball to him. But I would think that England hope that most of the work is coming away from there.
So England with their destiny in their own hands. Who would have thought it? Not even Sven-Göran Eriksson, when he took over a team which had taken just 1 point and scored no goals from the 2 World Cup qualifiers in October 2000. It really changed, of course, with those 5 goals in Munich 5 weeks ago. And what a chance for it all to come to a glorious climax in a couple of hours' time. Look at the evidence. Greece have lost all their away games. And they, like England, have a 5-1 on their record, a 5-1 defeat last time out in Finland. And they have never scored a goal in England. The force has been with England in 5 straight wins. And today that force includes some 65,000 supporters who have come here to Manchester to help their heroes clear the final hurdle. A huge sense of expectation. And England must make sure that that doesn't become a burden on their shoulders. If they're looking for extra inspiration, well, they should look at the fighting spirit of today's mascot, 6-year-old Kirsty Howard. Well, for David Beckham, a home game, but he has looked very much at home wherever he has worn the captain's armband, which he does incidentally for the 10th time today. Kevin Keegan fell on his sword after England's opening game in this group this weekend a year ago, but Andy left an important legacy in the organisation of the fixtures. England finishing off with home games against the 2 weakest nations in the section, Albania and now Greece. And Sven-Göran Eriksson has been the man fortunate enough to take advantage of that piece of organisation. A stark contrast to some difficult away matches in the run-in in past World Cup qualifiers. Italy away 4 years ago, of course. We'll never forget that. Well, the Panathinaikos goalkeeper, Nicolaides. Paul Scholes will be pleased to see him. He's already scored 4 past the man who guards the Greek goal today. That's, of course, for England and for Manchester United. A perfect choice as guest of honour. Sir Bobby Charlton, World Cup winner, synonymous with England and Manchester United. And his thoughts on the England captain, David Beckham.
Well, David's all right. I've been very proud of the way that he's worked since all the problems in France, and I think that he now has been given a job which he seems to love, and he enjoys it, and he's got the respect of the players. But not only that, the best thing about the whole thing, I think, is the way that he has played since he's got the captaincy. He is the more responsible player. He's not. Occasionally was a little bit petulant, but not now. He gets about it as a really professional manner, and the other players seem to have responded, which is first class. We nearly always have to go to the brink, every time they take us to the brink, and I hope that they don't do it again. But this is an opportunity to qualify for the World Cup and give yourself a proper run in, and the preparation, which Mr. Eriksson will be pleased about if we don't have to go into more playoffs, etc. I think it will benefit us when we actually get to Japan and Korea. And I honestly think that if we get to Japan and Korea and we don't have to wait time in qualifying matches, I think that we could actually do more than do well. I think we could quite easily win.
Sir Bobby called him Mr. Eriksson. Andy, you called him Mr. Eriksson as well.
It was a mistake. I meant Sven, Martin.
He does inspire respect. And we all hope that the national anthem in sync with what is happening in Gelsenkirchen. Germany against Finland. England cannot leave anything to chance. They have to assume Germany will beat Finland in Gelsenkirchen. Well, maybe third time lucky with Dutchman Dick Jol for England. Twice before he's refereed the national team. Twice England have failed to score. But this England side has a talisman of its own in Steven Gerrard, whose international record, it reads, played 7, won 7.
There's an awful lot of pluses you can look at, Mark, at that young side of talented footballers. No doubt about that. Everything says it should be victory. But pressures are, well, it's an imponderable. You're not quite sure how they're going to react to it. I thought they were a little edgy, a little nervy against Albania. Even at 1-0 up in second half. Maybe a little tiredness there after exertions in Germany, of course. But Albania still asked enough questions to suggest that today, if England don't start well, there should be enough talent in the opposition to worry maybe Nigel Martin more than he wants to be. If ever there's one man here today who doesn't want to touch the ball, it's probably the goalkeeper.
Well, David Seaman played in the 14 previous World Cup games for England. You have to go back to that home defeat by Italy early in 1997 to find another goalkeeper apart from Seaman in a World Cup match for England. That was Ian Walker, who is with the squad, the third goalkeeper in this group. But it's Nigel Martin today, Martin Keown as well, and Robbie Fowler. They are the changes. And what a roller coaster ride this season has been for Robbie Fowler. And of course Fowler and Heskey only last weekend played against Newcastle's Nikos Dabizas. Now very much of Greece. Well, it's kicked off in Germany, and Greece about to get us underway here in Manchester. England have worked so hard to get into this position, including one of the great results in the history of the national team. Now they all believe this is the time to finish the job of qualification. As Scholes bursting through, Konstantinidis got a toe to it. The goalkeeper, Nikopolidis, having to scamper to prevent the corner. He's done that. Long throw from Gary Neville. Gerrard.
That's the type of start you'd want England to have, Martin, is a high tempo, and I thought against Albania, if anything, they were a little tentative for me early on in that match. Allowed Albania too much of the ball at the back without any real pressure on it. It'll be interesting to see if they will actually try and win the ball a little bit higher up the pitch. I certainly expect the tempo of the start to be greater than it was. Just looking at the top two, Robbie's the one who's certainly stayed up there as England lost the ball and Emil Heskey dropped a little deeper.
Be in too much of a hurry, or rather stuck under his feet. Put forward initially by Aristeas, and then Karagounis' pass to the wide side, the backfield from Nikolaidis looking for Aristeas. A bit of a surprise that Greece have employed two strikers. We talked of damage limitation, and that was the impression that was given, but of course their coach, Otto Rehhagel, is a German. He's a very shrewd, foxy character. Of course, he's got a great status in German football. How that would be enhanced even more if they could get a good result for Greece to send Germany to the top of the table tonight.
I mean, I was a touch surprised as well, Martin. Maybe because the Greeks are out of it, they've actually come here with a very open attitude. And a lot of us have talked about them maybe being camped, maybe them not being that keen to go forward. Maybe it's the total opposite. Maybe he's sent them out. Say, hey, we have nothing to lose here playing against England, so why don't you go and enjoy it?
Mind you, he played with 3 forwards in Finland and lost 5-1.
Well, he's been tentative then, hasn't he?
There he is, the man we're talking about, Otto Rehhagel, 63 years old. He looks well on it. England all in white, looking to be very bright right from the off. Gary Neville's header. Didn't play in Athens back in June when England had to show that sense of patience. 2 goals came in the last quarter of the game. Pisas, who played in that match, as did Theo Zagorakis.
Fortunate. He's fortunate. That was good pressure. This time Robbie Fowler just edge of the box. He's the one that's dropped off, left Heskey up top. So I think you can safely say they're going to rotate that. They're not going to be the same player that drops off the front.
Zagorakis with the shot. Played 70 games for Leicester City. Ferdinand. Scholes with Beckham pushed forward. Fowler on the move. Flanked by Prokolos, one of those Panathinaikos players who did so well against Arsenal recently. Scholes. Gerrard. Barnby in from the left, but Gerrard a bit short.
Two-footed. That's two-footed, that is.
Right in front of the referee.
I think the only thing that saved greater danger injury here is that the ball's won. It's two-footed. You see that there, and he gets go. He goes low and gets the ball. I think had that been over the top, it would have been a painful one. And the thing you can say about Davies, he did go and win the ball. It's certainly two-footed.
Old Trafford anticipation at a David Beckham free kick. It's a fair distance, this one, even for Beckham. It's met by the player who conceded the free kick, Nikos Davizas. Brought out by Haristeas. Nikolaidis. Drew defenders towards him and kept the ball.
That was wasteful. Well, it was decent build-up play. 2 front players combined there on the break. Rather wasteful.
And the 2 players who have come back to the Greek national team combined in the end. It was Hassapis who had the shot from Nikolaidis' pass. Fowler. Scholes hits it back for England. Barnby. Katsat-Zoglu would have been playing for the under-21 team at Blackburn last night, having not been needed for the senior team. They've got a good cluster of younger players, have Greece, but maybe not quite in the same calibre as those at the disposal of England, senior and under-21s.
Listen, with a name like that, I wish you had been playing for the under-21s last night.
Davizas. High and not very handsome. Headed forward by Scholes. Davizas again. David Black can settle back and enjoy this, having done his job as the under-21s head coach yesterday evening. Goes Beckham. Left by Katsat-Zoglu.
That's just a slightly better angle for David, coming from that side if he wants to test the goalkeeper.
His last cap was against England in Athens, and of course he was beaten there by a David Beckham free kick from a different angle.
You think he'd take this on? Be very surprised if he doesn't.
And the goalkeeper just got there. to stop Beckham scoring for England against Greece here in England.
Well, first rule of thumb is hit the target, make the goalkeeper work. David Beckham certainly does that.
Corner rather easier for the goalkeeper to predict. Just dropping deep to make sure Greece couldn't snatch anything on the break. Heskey couldn't play it, he would have been offside. In fact, the flag would have gone up in any case.
Flag went up, but I'm rather surprised the referee blew, Martin. He took no part in the ball, Emil Heskey.
Konstantinidis, the taker of this free kick, plays in Germany for Hertha Berlin, born in Germany in fact. This is Otto Rehagel's interpreter with the squad. There's an understandable lack of communication between the new Greek coach and his players. And hope that will be reflected out there on the pitch. That's
a Scholes special, isn't it? How often have you sat and commentated on this young man? Nothing malicious, but he's such a clumsy tackler, Paul. And you can see him just launch at this. He thinks he's got the ball there and it just gets away from him. Just there, and he launches. It's not nothing tackle, it's clumsy. But that's all.
Well, this is second in the group. Now, if England get through by the direct route to the World Cup finals, that will be expunged from the record. But he misses the next game if there's a playoff. Zagorakis with the free kick. Hit Fisas, he didn't know too much about it. It dropped, fortunately for England in the end. But given the number of white shirts there, it wasn't the best piece of defending of a set piece.
It's a lovely ball. I have to say it was delivered very well into a good position. With someone going in after it. But as you say, there were plenty of white shirts covering it.
Just there to clear up again about Paul Scholes, of course, should... and from England's point of view, heaven forbid it, if he was to get another yellow card in this game, then there would be a suspension to be served. No question about that. It's only if it's just the 2 yellow cards, one home to Finland, one here today, and England through by the direct route, they will not trouble Scholes in future if it stays that way. Here's Karagounis. Karagounis making that a difficult save really for Nigel Martyn in the way that the ball dipped, and there was a player following in that had got too far away from England's goalkeeper.
I have to say the Greeks have started with an air of optimism about them and an air of freedom about the play.
And an air of pride, which apparently they didn't show in Finland. And they conceded 4 of those 5 in the first half. Gerrard. Fisas tight on Beckham. Zagorakis. Fisas. Vokolos. Away by Martin Keown, who missed the chance of playing in Munich and against Albania because he was England injured, playing at White Hart Lane in August. Aristais trying to see up Nikolaidis.
Offside, yeah, when it came back in, but I have to say, again, that's decent play. There's a lovely little diagonal ball, and the knockdown to Nikolaidis there is very close, but you can see just as it's knocked on there, Aristais is, well, in an offside position. I think the crowd have got a huge part to play, Mark. You know, when that kind of thing happens in a game like this, the first people to get nervous are the crowd. And it's important that doesn't transmit itself down onto the playing surface.
Well, they're certainly trying to transmit more positive thoughts at the moment. Demis Nikolaidis fouling Keown. Vokolos. Kabizas behind him, forward by Zagorakis under some pressure. Measured pass by Gerrard. And the spin took it quite viciously away from Fowler. If there is a warning from history, it comes from 1983 when Greece held England 0-0 at Wembley. A major factor in Bobby Robson's side not qualifying for the Euro 84 finals.
I think every side, Martin, is capable. Bobby Robson knows that as well as most of getting a result. By that, I mean, it's not so much a victory, but certainly keeping it tight and getting a 0-0. And this Greek side, if everything goes well and they play well and England aren't at their best, they're capable of doing that. It's certainly a day for patience, for belief, and all of those things that England need to show.
Defeated by Aristeas, who's another who would have played for the under-21s had he been chosen for the senior side. And a yellow card for Zagorakis for a gesture of dissent. Between referee and assistant, but England get the corner.
Oh, they've gone to sleep again, taking it quick.
Beckham and Gary Neville didn't waste any time until it came to the final ball into the box.
Good thinking, quick thinking from the captain.
In the air. Beckham felt he was being squeezed out of the way, but the free kick goes against him. Aristeas. That's over ambition. Let's just give him possession back to England. Foul. High for Barmby. Trying to set this fast tempo, but of course sometimes in haste, mistakes follow. What an influence he's been on the England team, and also the captain, who we shouldn't forget was appointed before Sven-Göran Eriksson came into the equation. It's the legacy of Peter Taylor's game in charge against Italy in November. Fisas. Neville's back pass. Foul. Played very well in Athens in June. Patasoglu. Zagorakis going ahead of him. Aragunis. Now Kabizas. Back and dispossessed by Heskey. Kabizas out of position. Getting back now. Scholes wanting to go left, and finding that Ashley Cole wasn't there. Ferdinand. It's easy for Greece to defend through Vokolos.
Just forcing it a touch, England, when they have the ball, they have possession, Martin.
Nikolaides from a very difficult angle. Aragunis with the pass.
I have to say the front two have been lively, Martin. They've shown enough good movement to suggest, as I said, that Keown and Ferdinand really need to be alert today.
Heskey. Well, Greece with nothing to lose, they'll finish fourth in the group, whatever happens today. They've started in relaxed and potentially threatening manner.
They certainly are threatened. I mean, England haven't really looked like they're going to open the Greeks up as yet. And I do say as yet. The Greeks have been doing a A little bit of success at the other end.
That's Oglu. Fowler. Heskey was played onside by Vokalos. Didn't chase on. Maybe thinking Barmby could get there. Now England concede a free kick. Ashley Cole the culprit. Antatsoglu. Greece were here this time yesterday. They trained for a good hour and a half. Still trying to get used to life under their German coach. The previous incumbent resigned after the home defeat by England in June. Zagarakis. Aristea sends a corner off Ferdinand.
They're getting enough success, Martin, the front two. They're getting enough of the ball, front two of the Greek side, to keep them very, very interested in this match.
Guinness with the corner. Aristeas, if we could go with Zagarakis. It came off Heskey. Konstantinidis. Aristeas! Oh.
Well, that's one apiece, isn't it, from the front two? Nicolaides early with a fantastic angled effort, and this one's every bit as good, if not better. This is superbly struck. The way he just brings it down. He gets time, maybe too much, but that seriously threatened Nigel Martin's goal.
Incidentally, Nigel Martin, in 10 previous games at Old Trafford, has never kept a clean sheet. Be a good time to start, wouldn't it? One of those was for England, the last international here. Been too many down the years. Well, that was just over 4 years ago. England beat South Africa by 2-1. Same today would do, with the goal difference in the group vis-a-vis England and Germany very much in England's favour. Zagarakis.
An edgy start for England, a little tentative all over the pitch.
Fisas. Konstantinidis. Fisas again. Ferdinand's header only goes to Zagarakis, but Ferdinand was fouled in the act of clearing. And there's some room here for Robbie Fowler, very much dropping deep to try and influence the play. My colleague Nick Barmby. Scholes. All England's goals in the group, all 14 of them have come from players from either Liverpool or Manchester United. Vokalos. Gerrard. Barmby. And they're trying to make an extra man in midfield. Scholes and Fowler drifting to the left. It was a good idea to power ahead across the face of the goal. Unfortunately for Robbie Fowler, it went rather too angled towards Nicolaides.
They could do with an attempt, a quarter of the way almost through the match, Martin. And apart from the free kick from the captain, haven't really troubled Nicolaides at all. They could do with just putting the move together, getting a little finish on the end of it, just restore a little bit of confidence, give them a little lift. Greeks have done all right, I have to say. Made life difficult.
Scholes and David Beckham had a look round, hoping not to see the flag, but see it he did.
Free kick's going to be given to England at the other end, I think, Martin. As we see Beckham, whether he is offside, it's touch and go for me as the ball's played. The free kick was given up the other end just as the ball was played.
Scholes. Beckham central. Gerrard to the right.
This is a message for Richard Bird from Nottingham. With Richard Bird from Nottingham, please contact the nearest steward. Thank you.
Won by Ferdinand. And Fowler. Heskey. Here's Barmby. Zoglu. Strong in the challenge, fair in the challenge. He's asking a bit too much of Constantinidis.
I think they give you a chance at the back with 3 centre-backs. I really do. They look like they're prepared to take a chance.
Heskey. A shrugging off Zagorakis. Scholes let it run away. And little moments like that won't trouble Paul Scholes, but do make the crowd just transmit their anxiety. Bokolas. Kasapis. And Nikolaidis. Very good friends off the pitch, and have been brothers in this dispute with the Greek Federation. But Otto Rehhagel has got them back in the fold. Finally was ducking down a bit, but put up from Zoglu. Andy's favourite.
Wing back, I'll call him up. You can call him what you like.
Gerrard. Heskey guide this down. He's backed up by Barmby. Good foot in for Greece by Bokolas.
Defended the second ball very well, the Greeks. Lovely little link up.
Kisas. Nikolaidis. Zagorakis has got good range in his passing. He keeps it short this time too. Karagounis. Supported by Patsazoglu. Karagounis. Confident possession in the England half by Greece.
Well, England do tend to do this, as we've said, Mark. They tend to drop one of the front men off and say, well, we concede ground there, but we won't in our own half. And that does encourage teams that come to play here in England against them. It does encourage them to keep it at the back and enjoy good periods of possession.
Kasapis.
Possession isn't really harming England at all, in all honesty, but it's possession that kind of give the Greeks a little bit more confidence in what was on. I don't know. I know it's the way that Sven-Göran Eriksson likes to play, Martin, but I just think when they're doing that, I think England need to go and put a little bit of pressure on the ball.
And so do the England supporters in the stadium. Eventually Greece do knock it long, and the flick on by Haristheas is not an effective one.
I think if it was, Brazil or Holland or something like that, then, I can understand the theory in dropping off and make life difficult.
Gary Neville. Gerrard. Nice turn by Karagounis. Good pressure by Beckham on Dabizas. He's forced a mistake. And Barmby has a shot because of that, but Constantinidis got in the way. Scholes.
I think that's the kind of thing. That's exactly what we're talking about. Bit of pressure high up the pitch. And I think they'll get a chance.
Gerrard grateful for the help behind him from Keown. Ferdinand. Now Scholes. Cole on the move, but no link up there. Nervy England once more. All week it's been a case of making sure the players don't speak out of turn, no anticipation, no announcement of a fixture here that would be against Sweden if England do get through successfully today. Everything kept on hold, no presumptions being made. Still 0-0 at Old Trafford and in Germany, between Germany and Finland. Fowler trying to change that to England's advantage. Scholes. Beckham. Barmby. Fowler trying to get a cross in towards Heskey. Beckham. He got there first, quicker than Karagunis, who's being helped up by the referee, and I just see whether there's a yellow card with it. I don't think so.
I don't think there is. It's a nasty one, just above the ankle there, catches David Beckham, and you think he'll be all right. I don't think it twisted too much. That was the captain winning the second ball. That was the thing. Dropped down, he was first to react, gives him an opportunity yet again to test the goalkeeper. It's an even better angle than the previous one.
Well, you feel if anyone deserves the accolade of a priceless goal today, it is David Beckham, who's contributed so much. It doesn't happen here.
He's just limping a little bit, you can see that.
There haven't been too many goal attempts so far in Gelsenkirchen, but that's the best Germany have come up with Oliver Bierhoff, who's, if you might have just glimpsed that, they're wearing the captain's armband again. And the controversy between him and Oliver Kahn. Here's the captain of Greece, Zagadakis. Good covering by Gary Neville. England needed it. It's a poor kick by Martin. Kasapis. Fisas. Kasapis, a little bit of contact there by the England right back.
Yeah, Kasapis knew what he was doing, Mark, because he wasn't ever going to get chopped with that ball. It's been a fascinating half hour, just because of the importance of the game and the way it's taking shape.
Zagorakis! Oh, he did hit that very sweetly indeed.
Well, they've had a couple of beautiful strikes. Make that three now, Mark. And all two front men and Zagorakis have all hit pretty good efforts.
There's no watching brief for Nigel Martin, stepping up for David Seaman today in the opening third of this truly vital occasion at Old Trafford. Vokalos is winning his fifth cap, only his fifth cap. He's 31.
I think the Greeks have done quite well as well defensively, Mark. I thought against Germany, certainly with Michael Owen's pace, they got in behind the Germans time and time again. And I think that was a huge advantage for England that night, was the ability to get in behind. They've not had as much luck, and the Greeks have made it more difficult for any space to be found in behind at the moment. Starting positions have been pretty good. Even here now, as Rio Ferdinand picks up the ball, they're only 10 yards outside the penalty box. So it's patience, trying to work an opening.
It was very close to half-time when Michael Owen got the breakthrough against Albania last month. Beckham. Still pressing, still setting the example. And Steus trying to bring it out.
Oh, applause for the captain. He's chasing, he's hurrying.
Gerrard, too high for Fowler. Kasapis. Nutmeg on Steven Gerrard. Karagunis. Agarakis. Cool play from Greece again.
I have to say, Martin, I hate to say it, but the Greeks have actually worked the ball through midfield much better than England so far.
One was wondering there whether England would get a free kick.
Well, there might be a problem for the young lad. Harry Stace took a knock there, whether it was actually when he jumped for the ball trying to win the header and landed awkwardly, or whether it was in the little challenge with Ashley Cole a little later. They wouldn't want him to go off, I tell you, because he's done a pretty good job up front with Nikolaides.
He tends to show his emotions more when the nerves are there than when jubilation is around, Sven-Göran Eriksson. One or two very anxious shots we got of him on the bench against Albania.
Same sort of game for me, this, Martin, Albania. You know, England were, I thought, up until Michael Owen's goal, just right on half-time, basically. I thought, had they gone in at 0-0, it might well have been the first huge test for the England coach.
Greece for the moment down to 10 men, but Haristeas looking to get the nod from Dick Kjol, the referee, to get back on again. Zagorakis, and the header by Neville for England. Haristeas can come back on straight away to catch Ashley Cole out. He did nothing wrong, he was given the blessing.
Yeah, he was a little unlucky, Ashley Cole. He thinks he's got acres of space, tons of grass to run into. Afraid not.
But now England have another free kick, and Keown has gone forward, Ferdinand. Heskey with plenty of physical presence there as well. It's Martin Keown. Picked out by Dabizas. And his goal is really showing for the skipper. Gerrard. Chance for Neville to cross. The deflection off Kasapas. A weak clearance by Konstantinidis.
Just needed to keep possession there. I think that's the thing. They had a good bit of pressure going. They had people up there. They had the Greeks backed at the edge of the box. It's just a sloppy pass, wasn't it? A little careless.
Well, time still very much on England's side, but I think it's fair to say in the opening 35 minutes tension has been a bit of an enemy.
And I think the Greeks are a good side at 0-0, Martin. I just wonder how good they'd be at 1-0 down. I think teams that are notoriously bad travellers, you see a lot of them play pretty well at 0-0. It's amazing how they fold when things go against them.
This is great play by Patsatsoglu. And a goal by Haristeas. Drive beyond Nigel Martin, and trouble looms large for England at Old Trafford.
Well, I'm talking about them going one down, Martin, and how good they would be. Never did I think I'd be talking about them going one up. But Pat, this wing back here does ever so well. Whether that's great defending, we can debate about that. But the one thing that no one can argue with is the sheer quality of the strike that arrows into the bottom corner. He's threatened already, the young front man, Haristeas, 21. And it's his 7th international and his 4th goal. Absolutely sensational.
There's a back pass by Vokolos, and that was nearly a couple of Greeks bearing a gift for England at a time of national need. No clean sheet at Old Trafford again for Nigel Martin.
That's you, I'm blaming you.
We can't really blame him, can we?
No.
Because it was a splendid strike, taken early and with the utmost accuracy and power to boot. And here's Gary Neville. Well, the goalkeeper to come, Zagorakis, was desperate really for Nikopolidis to get out and claim it, which he did.
different pressure, different game now for the England players.
Greece's first ever goal against England in England. Their first ever goal against England, home or away, in free play. The only other one was a penalty back in 1989 from Sadavakos.
Might be what they need, actually, England. As I said, they've been tentative, they've been edgy, they've been nervy. Nothing like going down to focus you, to lift the tempo.
Well, this is the table as it stands, with a goal for Greece.
It's a goal kick. Oh, it should have been. Amazing, there's some little things like that that might just be a lifeline. Let England back in. I certainly thought it was a goal kick.
England looking to hit back with Keown and Gerrard and Heskey, but the support was the other side.
That was the only thing.
Back by Gary Neville. On from Keown again. And Patsazoglu, who did so well in his attacking play to help create the goal, showing that he can certainly defend as well.
Well, a big 7 or 8 minutes coming up, you feel, in this football match. If England can get back into it, get the equaliser, force it before the interval, it'd be a massive, massive boost for them. If they don't, oh, I wouldn't mind being a fly in the wall in that dressing room at half-time. Work to be done.
Scholes throw. Ashley Cole, the move from left to right to Gary Neville. Heskey. First time cross from Gary Neville. Barmby trying to angle it off. Andy, you talked about this game reminding you of Albania. Maybe now a comparison with the game against Finland at Anfield, when England were behind and did equalise before half-time.
I think that was a big one. It was a big goal. Michael Owen's equaliser.
And the thoughts of Michael Owen, of course, available to you on Sky Sports at half-time. Here's Ashley Cole. He did well to keep the ball. It would have been a free kick. Referee quite right to let Cole have the advantage, but then the pass was a poor one.
Oh, it's unlucky, Nicky Bambury. But I do think that now the tempo, when England don't have it, Martin, has to change. I think they have to put pressure on the ball earlier, quicker. This team have been allowed half an hour to pop the ball about basically at will around the back and in midfield.
This is Greece, who have won only one of their last 10 internationals, lost all their away games in the group. 1-0 up at Old Trafford. 40 minutes gone.
I think one down is correct, but out certainly not. I mean, work to be done, and they're going to have to turn the trend. The way it's been going, it's been good possession from the Greeks, popping it about. Look at that, that's how confident they are at the moment, Martin. A little dink from one of the centre-backs.
Pisas, back at the hurry. Greece retaining their composure, retaining the possession of the ball. Kassapis. Stopped in the act of passing by Gerrard.
I just think if we get to half-time, I wonder if the coach, I'm not sure what he's like when he's down at half-time. I haven't seen much evidence of decision-making in that respect, but I wonder if he's the type of man who will make change early rather than wait. It's such a huge game, and the way England are playing, the way they drop one off the top, I wonder if it's going through his mind, would this suit Teddy Sheringham, the guy in form, to come in and play that little withdrawn role, get him on the ball, because England haven't used the ball particularly well, I don't feel.
Karagunis. Now Barmby. Well, so far the plaudits with Otto Rehhagel. He's got his team into the right frame of mind and picked a formation with two attackers, one of whom has already punctured England's resistance in this first half. Barmby. Keogh. Gerrard. Beckham. The extra centre-back to the rescue then.
Well, he needed it. Beckham was excellent there. He played his ball and followed it, and he was only inches away from getting on the end of it. It's a difficult header for Dabizaz. He could just drop it down into a very inviting area.
Estes wins it well. Quite prepared to do his share on the right of midfield when England have possession. Since he came in from that right-hand side to fire in the goal that stunned the majority in the stadium. And many millions of you watching around Britain, around the world, our coverage here on Sky Sports. A couple of thousand Greeks in the ground, absolutely delighted with the way the game's going. Scholes. Constantinidis. That's Oglu. Estes buoyed by the goal, a bit overconfident then.
He's done well for them, isn't he? I think you can see from him, if he's an example of the quality of their under-21 side, Mark, and you see why they pushed England so far in that table. He's been excellent for them. I think the front two have been very good for them. They've worried the England back four all day, made very good runs, as you say. Estes has taken that wide right position and attacked from there, occupied Ashley Cole.
Referee who didn't get the clearest view of it, or his assistant who did.
Certainly thought there was a clumsy enough challenge, I have to say. And Constantinidis looked to edge David Beckham out of the way, but
Rio Ferdinand across there in the nick of time.
He called that right across in the nick of time. I thought if the ball hadn't checked, Martin, then he might not have got across at all.
Heskey has turned Bokalos. Emil Heskey for England into the penalty area, and it's gone wide of his own goal from Constantinidis, and England aching here for an equaliser to at least have a corner so close to half-time.
Well, it's the first real surge from Emil Heskey, Mark. It's the first time there's been a ball over the top that Heskey's been able to get onto and then show a bit of determination and muscle.
Goalkeeper missed it. And referee's got to stop it here because Greece have a player down.
Well, there was that little challenge on David Beckham moments earlier. It was the first thing the referee had to decide, was what and how much contact was here. As he turns there, Constantinidis, well, I guess David just got eased out. I think it would have been harsh. Referee's got a decent position, so is the linesman. Maybe a couple of players in the referee's way, but it would have been harsh, I feel. But when Heskey broke down the right-hand side, it's the first real little glimpse we've seen of this guy's strength. There he goes. We haven't seen any of that today from England's front two. They haven't been able to get in behind, but he does here, and he shows great determination, strength, skill to get in there. And how this doesn't go in, well, I'm not so sure. So close. I mean, I don't think Constantinidis knows what he's doing here. He sticks out a leg and could have gone anywhere.
What was the goalkeeper doing anyway? Trying to scramble it back.
No idea.
Gave England another open goal. It's half-time in Gelsenkirchen. Germany 0, Finland 0.
I just can't believe, Mark, the amount of time that Constantinidis has given there. I mean, he took 2 or 3 looks, checked a couple of times, and yet we're still given ample time to arrow a 40, 50-yard ball down the right-hand side.
Well, a year ago this weekend it was Wembley and woe and Harman and a home defeat. It seemed to have dire consequences, certainly did for Kevin Keegan. Only just approaching the halfway mark of this one, but you can just, I'm sure at home, sense the lack of atmosphere in the stadium. Not the hubbub and the sense of celebration that so many were expecting. Handball given against Konstantinidis, only after a bit of consultation between referee and assistant.
The referee didn't give it, quite simply. And you just wonder, 2 minutes went up on the board. We're way beyond that now.
This will be England's last chance to equalise before half-time. Picked up by Beckham. Ferdinand, one go at it, not the second go. Half-time whistle. So some talking to do for Sven-Göran Eriksson. England going at Old Trafford 1-0 down. Haris Deas for Greece, the supposed no-hopers who have played well, but the tension has been something of a burden for England as well. At the break, England 0, Greece 1.
Germany are in at with Sammy Lee on the pitch at present. England trail to Greece by a goal to 1. Trevor Francis, Michael Owen and Alan Shearer here with us. Who wants to start? Trev? Where do we go?
Well, the obvious thing is it's disappointing, and I think this is where the manager earns his corn half time, because he's got to give some inspiration to the players because they're desperately in need of it. They need help. I think he's possibly going to make a change. But
What would you do?
Well, I would like to see Heskey probably play on the left-hand side with the introduction of Andy Cole up front. But that's not just the only problem. I think that the way that the Greece have put their team out to frustrate England, they've stopped us from going in wide areas. Neville and Ashley Cole can't get forward. I think they've gone tight on Barnby and Beckham in wide areas. Where we've had a little bit of space in the centre of the field, and we've used the ball really poorly with Scholes and Gerrard. They've had most of the possession. They've played well. But when we have had the ball, we've passed it really poorly.
Spot on, by the way. It looks like Nicky Barmby's coming off and Heskey will move on that left side, which is what I think you wanted.
Well, I've got something right, Rich.
The goal that was conceded, Michael, an absolute shocker, wasn't it? But in fairness, you know, you wouldn't begrudge Greece the opener, would you? They'd played very well, hadn't they?
Yeah, they had some neat build-up play without really threatening until this time. They had a couple of long-range shots, but they weren't really getting in behind. But there was a great bit of play by the wide player there, and left foot finish.
But in too cheap, Alan, wasn't it? Here.
Well, Ashley Cole has got him where he actually wants him on the touchline. He's not going anywhere, but he's dived in.
That's not the best either, is it?
He's stuck the ball through his legs, and it was poor defending all round. But I have to say, what a fantastic strike with the left foot. There's no chance there for Nigel Martin whatsoever. But as you've said, Greece deserved that. They've created chances, and in the first 45 minutes, there was only one team going to score a goal, and it certainly wasn't England.
Anybody here think we should have had a penalty? Michael, did you think that the challenge on Beckham was, well, a foul first of all? Anywhere else on the pitch?
Initially I thought maybe, we're a long way from it here, but initially I thought maybe outside the box it would be a foul. Certainly you wouldn't see some of them, a penalty given in that situation, but maybe you'd get a foul outside the box. But looking at it there, I think he's just used his body. I don't even think it was a foul.
The closest England came, I think, was probably the chance engineered by Emil Heskey. He's got so much power, Alan, and so much ability in these situations. You just want to see him do this more often, don't you?
Yeah, that's the only time really that England have been in behind the Greek 5 defenders, if you like, and we cause problems when we do that. But I can't remember for a long time England only having one effort on goal in 45 minutes, and that being a set piece from David Beckham.
Michael said, look, he lets go of him just as he steps in the box.
Yeah, I think he's been very clever there. He looks as if he's an experienced defender by the haircut, but no, he's been very clever there. They like to pull you back as around the box, and then as soon as you get near it, they let go of you. And,
Changes on. Sorry, Trevor, must go again. Changes on the horizon. Andy Cole warming up. Nicky Barmby, it would appear, is coming off. But Sven-Göran Eriksson here, arguably for the first time since he took charge, with some real problems to sort out. England trip for Germany yet against Finland, but as we sit, that would be enough, because England trailed to Greece by a goal to 0. It cannot happen again, can it? If you want to see both games played at the same time, and you're a Sky Digital viewer, then it's Sky Sports Extra. Both games, ball by ball. England trail here, 1-0. I couldn't bear that. I mean, if they get a 0-0 and we go out by a 0-0 here,
Richard, my big fear prior to the game was that the expectancy from what's needed today would get to the players, and I think that's what's happened in the first half. I spoke about nerves. Some of the players, they look mentally not bright. You know, they're cloudy in their thinking, and you know, players who we know are very, very good, you know, Premiership players. They're unrecognisable with their performances. I just hope, for all our sake, you know, people who are English, that they improve in the second half, because that was a real disappointing first half for us.
And so say all of us. Let's go back and rejoin Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Sven-Göran Eriksson has had his say, and he's making his first substitution. Andy Cole, who didn't play in Greece, he was suspended in June. Feel a bit sorry for Nick Barmby, who's been short of Premiership games recently. In fact, he started more internationals than he has matches in the English National League. But it's Andy Cole who knows a thing or two about getting goals on this ground. He's averaged one every 2 appearances at Old Trafford for Manchester United over the last 6 years or so. He's in good form. He played very well in that comeback at White Hart Lane, which for many seemed to guarantee him a place in the starting 11. Well, he starts the second half at a true time of need for his country. Emil Heskey to the left. Cole and Fowler through the middle. England looking for a road to recovery in this game, to find the flight path to the Far East. Beckham. Fowler. Just an ankle clipped, and immediately England within range. Now this was the angle that Beckham scored from in Athens past this same goalkeeper, Nikopolidis.
What corner did he go?
He went to the goalkeeper's left, started it outside the left-hand post and bent it just inside into the top corner. It went in actually to the middle of the net in the end. It looked a goalkeeping mistake, but it was a brilliant free kick. Same again from Beckham. That's what England want. Well, it's the other side, and the goalkeeper was waiting.
I think that was when you get mind games in football, man. That's the goalkeeper would be very aware of where he was beaten. So would David, so he tried the reverse, didn't really get it up enough or powerful enough. But the change has been made. They pondered, would it be a change earlier, a little later, and the England coach has, I think, done the right thing by changing it. But I think the thing more than anything will be, for me, would be higher up the pitch, start from the back. The back four have got to push them up, and then go and win the ball higher up the pitch and put pressure on the Greeks. Because I don't think they're that good at the back, Martin. I really believe that if England pressure those players that they're playing against, they'll get a mistake.
Beckham's free kick. Cole got there first. Zagorakis didn't deal with the danger, but Davizas did. Ferdinand. The fans here trying to fuel the players. Gerrard and Fowler. Andy Cole! It's back with him again, and Nikopolidis came up with an answer again. He had time to assess the situation. Well played, the goalkeeper.
Feel a bit sorry for Andy. It comes really early in the match for him. It's a wonderful run. It was a good strike.
Gerrard. Well, England seem to have woken up at the start of the second half, and my goodness, they need to. Cole, but there was no one reacting to the little flick.
I have to say, they haven't come out. The Greeks, England are exactly the way. When you talk about pressure, tempo, it's what you're seeing now. And that's simply because England are one down.
Keogh. Scholes. Greece just can't get out, and now they have to face yet another free kick.
tell you what you find in football, Martin, with nations such as the Greeks. If you give the players time and space, they look good players, and people think, well, why are they so good, and yet their international records are poor. But as soon as you ask a question or two, or put them under pressure and ask them to try and do the same things, then it's a different matter altogether. And that's what England have done. It's just up the tempo, straight from the off.
Still can't get one right.
And Andy Cole, I mean, I felt sorry for him because it comes so early in the game. And this is his first piece of action. Yeah, going across the goalkeeper might have been the way. He rather hits it at the goalkeeper rather than across him. Looks to go with the outside of the foot, doesn't quite get it right.
Harris Diaz, one for Karagounis to chase. He's in behind Gary Neville.
Oh, what a save. That might just be the save that sends England through, you know.
Well, let's get the deficit to 1. And here's Scholes. Heskey. And England warned there that they must keep their concentration at the back. Certainly Nigel Martyn did, but he was exposed.
Well, Haristia's Martin who won the header, and Karagounis really just took a chance. He was going to, and it really took a great save.
Martin was thrust into the limelight in Euro 2000. It was at very short notice. Of course, David Seaman was injured in the warm-up. This time, Nigel had full notice of the need for him to play for his country today, and that was a magnificent contribution at a vital time. And Karagounis, the player here, tries to orchestrate something for Greece again with help by Nikolaidis. He gets bustled out of it by a more positive England. Beckham, Karagounis, Fisas. Nikolaidis, Karagounis again. Keown has to get his decision making right here. Is being pushed in the end. Two who faced each other in the Champions League recently when Karagounis came out on top. And a 1-0 win, he scored that goal. Andy Cole to Scholes. Gerrard, more to the right than to the left for England. Wasn't an easy one for Fowler to take.
Well, he did brilliantly even get under control. I thought there was somebody beyond him, the way that Steven Gerrard hit the ball at him. But Nigel Martyn earlier, you know, I said he might want to do an awful lot. He said far more to do than he thought and I thought he would have. And I just wonder in the bigger picture, Martin, as this game goes on, and if England get back to qualify, how important that moment will be. Forward to receive the throw from Heskey. Just offside, I think. Well, I guess I should keep you up to date with what's happening vis-a-vis who the second team in this group plays in the playoff. It's either Belarus or the Ukraine. Both are losing at half-time in their games. Ukraine in Poland, who have already qualified, and Belarus against Wales. John Hartson, the scorer in that one. If it stays that way, it will be Ukraine, the opponents for either Germany or England. Nikolaidis not getting any sympathy from the referee or from the England supporters. Long from Martin. Heskey looking to attack this one. Well defended by Dabizas. Zagorakis. Karagounis still taking up positions where he's able to receive the ball and give Greece a way out. Here he is again. I think he'll do that, and that's why, you know, even though England have to up the tempo and push up a little bit, Martin, I think that Steven Gerrard has still got a little eye to keep on. Karagounis has already been through once.
Aristeas, Ashley Cole across quickly. It's his stock in trade.
That was better defending from the fullback. He rather dived in when England conceded the goal wide on the touchline, made it easy for the wing-back to get in.
Ferdinand. Really is a test of English nerves here. Scholes. Under-hit it. Aristeas tracking back again. On the ball again. Giving Beckham a taste of his own medicine with the drag back. I think it was a fairly respectful for David Beckham, who knew he'd been outskilled then. Apologised.
They've definitely done their homework, Otto Rehagel, Martin, and the fact that they've played the young lad Aristeas on the right-hand side, and I'm sure that's to stop Ashley Cole going forward, because he hasn't really at all. He's tried a couple of times this half. I think he's just been told, listen, forget, if he's behind you, forget it. Let the others deal with it, but you've got to get forward a bit more. But he didn't first half, and that was down to the position of the front man.
Beckham, Fowler. Look out by Konstantinidis. Beckham wins it back with all the eagerness that England need in abundance. Heskey, Scholes. Time for Beckham to assess what's on in the centre. That's a very good claim in the circumstances by Nicopolidis.
Well, he goes with his feet, Andy Cole, at the end. I just wonder if he'd have thrown himself head first. Would he have gotten in the end of it? Lovely little played pass. He might have done. It's one of those, you can certainly think of one striker that's sitting in our studio would have been flying at that head first.
Trevor Francis. Here's Beckham. Look at the bend on that. I'm not sure it was intended. Gerrard, Robbie Fowler has got round the back and got on the end of it, but not in a controlled fashion.
I think it's a little rash again. It's a tight angle, it's dropping out the sky. I think he's got time to control this as well, Mark. You know, he doesn't really need to thrash it that in that way, Robbie. I think he had time to pull it down.
Masinas, who is a midfield player, getting ready to come on. Zagorakis in need of attention, whether it's a substitution that Rehagel has made up his mind about. Doesn't look as though he's going to give Zagorakis any recovery time. Masinas, another of the Panathinaikos players. Of course, that club played Manchester United in the Champions League last season, as well as Arsenal this season. Teddy Sheringham will remember the previous encounters. Keogh. Here's Heskey. Still Germany 0, Finland 0 in Gelsenkirchen, which means England need an equaliser. That would be enough if it stays goalless in Germany.
You're assuming, of course, the Finns don't win that game.
Said if it stays goalless.
I think that's what a lot of people have assumed, isn't it, today, Martin, that Germany would get a result.
Beckham. Gerrard. And Paul Scholes get in here. Well, he did get a foot to it as well, but no power at the end of the reach.
Beautiful football this. It's a fantastic ball from Gerrard. It's perfectly weighted. Scholes has run his trademark. What you expect from him. Just didn't get enough power on it because he was stretching.
Gerrard.
It's been much, much better from England since the whistle's gone in the second half. Much better.
Beckham found by Andy Cole. Konstantinidis. Hatzatoglu. Aristeas, supported infield by Nikolaidis that time. England players really need ice in their veins at the moment. Try and keep calm, keep cool. Beckham chases, a bit of a hopeful ball forward by Scholes. Pisas wants it to run, and run it does.
Well, I'm sure he's preached belief, patience all week to his team. And he has to himself maintain the belief that the players he has available, whether they're still to come on and the ones that are on, have it within themselves to find a goal. You do feel if the England find one that there would be another.
Formalities in football, especially international football, are few and far between. Those who painted this as a formality got it wrong. Almost an hour play. England still in the doldrums. Still time to end the afternoon in Manchester full of celebration. Ferdinand. Turned by Andy Cole. Clear foul. Good movement by the Manchester United man.
Again, though, for me, it's another example of them not being absolutely brilliant defensively. I have to say, Mark, very poor defending that was.
Well, England need a goal-scoring hero. Can they find one now? Very unorthodox flip away by the goalkeeper. Oh, and it's a bad mistake by Basinas. Scholes. David Beckham. His sort of angle.
Yeah. Didn't quite get the power he wanted. Not sure whether he's trying to bend this one into the opposite corner. The one nearest us. Certainly it's a good enough first touch. Slightly cute an angle for him probably to get the purchase he wanted. It's another shot on target. Much better than it was. But only that, well, I think only the one on target, the free kick from David early on in the first half.
Extravagant movement of the chest by Hatzatoglu.
Well, 7 attempts for England, as you can see, only 2 at the end of the half, and 4 of them have hit the target. They want to keep up that kind of ratio in the last half hour of this match, because the first 15 minutes is simply raced by.
Now, action in Gelsenkirchen, a chance for Germany, and it's off the bar from Oliver Bierhoff. Scholes. As if Germany were to get in front, England would have to win. I don't think I really need to spell that out to you. Gerrard. Beckham. Gerrard. That's good defensive midfield play by Basinas, and a cute pass from him as well. Aragunis sorted out by Ferdinand. Aristeas stops him. Well, they're following the German coach's instructions to the letter, Greece. Well primed for their challenge here. He's picked a team of fairly seasoned campaigners, a lot of them aged between 28 and 30. One or two youngsters like the goal scorer, Aristeas, forcing their way into the reckoning as well. Players who maybe have the mental approach for what's needed today. to restore pride for Greece. That's their only priority. The points don't mean too much to them. They've never beaten England.
A huge feather on the cap, Mark, if they go away from here, Greece, with a victory under their belts. At the moment, they couldn't give a monkeys who wins the section. But they do care about winning this now. They've got their noses in front.
Heskey. Corner for England. Not yet 20 minutes gone in the second half, but still no change in the scoreline, which makes very painful reading for English support at the moment. Scholes.
What a save, son. What a save, because it took a huge deflection, Martins. Well, I think this is Manchester United's copybook. See Scholes pull away, Beckham spot him. Fantastic volley.
Nicolaitis trying to make it awkward here for Gary Neville, and he's doing that. And clearance only as far as Fisas. And how ambitious do Greece want to be? Karagounis. Fisas. Turn by Beckham. So Fowler, who could take the ball on because of it. Heskey. Rather hemmed in by the touchline and by the opposition. Bit of grabbing by Emil Heskey, who hasn't scored, incidentally, for club or country since he made it 5 in Munich on September the 1st. The 35-year-old continues to wait for the call. Nicolaitis had 2 runners coming from the right-hand side.
That's that Zoglu, Mark, the wing-back, that made a fantastic run if he'd have been picked out.
Rabizas was twisting hither and thither. Konstantinidis with a more straightforward defensive header. Karagounis cutely away from Gerrard.
I think there's a little bit more space in front of the Greeks' back 5, if you like, Martin. I think the midfield 3 did ever so well protecting it first half. They're not doing such a great job.
Karagounis in a give and go. Karagounis is in again. Oh, and Nigel Martin is there again. Haristeas. Well, he was claiming that was a back pass, but well, England could have been sunk without trace. 2 chances in the second half that Greece have squandered. Beckham. Almost a personal crusade from the captain here.
Not a free kick, I'm afraid. But what a save again, I tell you what. Change has been made, Martin, down below us. It's all going off because of the save, the chance. Sheringham's about to join it. But Nigel Martin looks to the heavens and thinking, what is going on here? A lovely give and go. He took his time, and I have to say the goalkeeper was exceptional. He stood and stood and stood. Made Karagounis decide.
Teddy Sheringham is off. Beckham takes. He scored. My goodness, what a fairy tale! Beckham to Sheringham. It's Sheringham's goal. A sensational substitution.
I tell you, if you had written this and said to me, this is how it goes, Mr. Gray, I would say, don't be stupid, Tyler. You're in dreamland. These sort of things don't happen in football. But there he is, at 35 years of age, large as life. It's the most exquisite header. He just helps the ball on. He knows how much pace to put on it. Help it on. Use the pace on the ball. That's what Teddy does. The goals are not moving. Goodness me. I It's unbelievable. He can't believe it either.
First touch fantasy for Teddy Sheringham. 1-1 at Old Trafford. The initiative is back with England. Well, shades of Barcelona and Manchester United's amazing night in the final of the Champions League. But this is better still, it's for the country. And it's for a manager who's recalled Sheringham, whose international days seem to be gone. He's in the thick of it now, he's centre stage, but now it's concentration defensively. And what about honourable mentions for Nigel Martyn and those two saves, without which England will be in trouble. But Nicolaides and Martyn could do nothing about it, and England are behind again.
I can't believe what I'm seeing here. I have to say, what a finish. He's stunned. The whole ground is stunned. It's a sensational finish from Nicolaides. I have to say, his first touch here, he might be offside. I think he probably is offside. You look at the linesman looking right across there. The touch comes in there. Well, I think Gary Neville's probably played him on, Martin, at the top of the screen. But what a game this is turning out to be. I just cannot believe it.
Taking on Patsazoglu, who gets a foot to it. It's bedlam at Old Trafford. England were level, but only for seconds. Can Sheringham get himself free again? He looks for it. So does Steven Gerrard. And a help on by Andy Cole. 20 minutes to go.
You okay, mate? Just checking you.
We are British Sky Broadcasting.
You are going through everything here.
Here's Visas. It's a truly dramatic scenario, and at the moment it's going Greece's way. When you felt, and Andy, you've been saying throughout, that once they concede a goal, what sort of backbone, what sort of spine will there be to their defending?
I think the difference is going behind, Martin. I think the fact that they're still level keeps you going.
Ashley Cole, Gerrard.
Well, we look along. He had a decision to make, the linesman, Martin. I talked about Gary Neville. If we watch the position as the ball's played in, just there, you can see Gary Neville's drifted back, top of the screen, furthest back defender. You'd have to say in that evidence, the linesman probably got it right. But what a finish, I have to say. Nicolaides' touch, and then his muscular strength to keep Ferdinand out of it before he calmly slotted it away.
His first international for 2 years, and he's picked England for his comeback. And he's picked the bottom corner. And I agree with you, Andy, the level, of course, is onside, and I don't think England can have any complaints about it. If you think back, Albania had a goal contentiously disallowed, didn't they? It could have been only a draw in Albania late on, before Andy Cole got what is, to this moment, his only international goal. Maybe he can change that and get England out of the mire again. But it is still 0-0 in Germany. That is good news for England, but they're having chances, and most of them to Oliver Bierhoff, and that's the best so far. Ante Niemi is the goalkeeper for Finland.
Goodness me, how's he miss that? Change been made below Mark. Well, I thought that he looked as if he was limping a bit. Harry Stez. He's had a fantastic game for his country. The more experienced Nicolaides comes over just to shake the hand and say well done. He's been fantastic for the Greeks today, this young lad, and I think he's somebody we'll hear and see an awful lot more of Certainly on the evidence of today.
Lakis is a right-sided player. Heskey turns Davizas, fires it across, and Nicopolidis, who, as I was saying earlier, lost his place after the home defeat by England. My goodness, he's looked an international goalkeeper today.
Well, Heskey can only come out. You see his starting position, the goalkeeper's mark. It's 2-3 yards off the post, as he knows that Emil can only pull it back, really.
Some of our older viewers will remember Jan Tomaszewski and that Polish goalkeeper in 1973 who stopped England qualifying altogether in the World Cup. Of course, if it's not the direct route for England after this, it is the playoffs. It would be Ukraine, we can tell you that now. Wales have beaten Belarus and ruined their chances of finishing second in that section. And pleased for Mark Hughes with that result. Beckham. And ball by Karagunis. Beckham eagerly looking around him to see what might be on. He's got Martin Keown going forward. Heskey's height coming from a wider position, a deep ball to attack maybe. And Sheringham has already found one way past Greece. Germany still looking for a winning goal here, and Ante Niemi in the frame of the goal denying them. Goodness me.
Oh dear.
This is Keown.
Well, the people that are at home watching both games simultaneously, what are they going through?
Gerrard. Scholes. Tatsoglu using his strength well against Heskey. Lakis just on, full of running. Heskey trying to get back. Does get back. And Lakis has done a little job there for Greece. He's carried the ball some distance. He was the hero the last time Greece won an away game. He got the winning goal in Dublin against the Republic of Ireland in a friendly international, April of last year. Fisas. Nikolaidis. Just a dicing with World Cup qualification there. Nigel Martin, but knew what he was doing.
Well, if we get back into England, if we get that second equaliser and it stays stalemate, it could well be two goalkeepers we're debating at the end of this day. Ante Niemi and Nigel Martin. Not got fortunate, I thought there. Kind of clashed accidentally, but the ball was running miles away from Teddy, but free kick's been given. Interesting to see if it's been given for obstruction, Martin, whether the arm goes up from the referee. I certainly feel like that was it. There's nothing happening there. Well, he's come close. He's only hit the target with his first free kick, David. Hasn't troubled the goalkeeper since then.
England feel the wall's not back properly. It is a direct free kick, and for Beckham!
Oh. Well, I think it's in this side. But his reaction tells you it's the side netting and not the back of the net that's been hit. How close does it go? Oh, it's about a foot wide.
Well, that's the trajectory that he found so well against Greece in Athens.
Goalkeeper's rooted as well. He thinks it's in. No, he knows.
Ferdinand. Vokolos. Nikolaidis. Now Lakis. Greece's throw. Well, Finland haven't threatened too much in Gelsenkirchen. But Oliver Kahn worried there by Liverpool's Jari Litmanen. The Finland goal would be of enormous help to England at the moment. Gary Neville on the charge. Whatever England have needed since Sven-Göran Eriksson took over in the context of the World Cup. They've eventually found. It's Steve McManaman they're looking to now, in place of Ashley Cole. Sheringham's urging some of the defenders to come forward for this long throw. Keown was a bit bashful, but he's on the move now. McManaman's first touch. Beckham. Dink in. Too high for Heskey. Beckham chases again. It's England's throw. Goalkeepers come for this one, and he caught it at quite a low point. It wasn't a movement out of true authority.
It's almost 4-3-3 now for England. Heskey, Cole, Sheringham, supported by Beckham, Scholes and McManaman.
Well, you can't imagine many more nail-biting scenarios than this one. Beckham, Scholes, almost getting in each other's way. Beckham takes the lead again. Sheringham, his sort of position. But Konstantinidis eventually got there to block the shot.
Now that's when he's getting a bit of space, and that's when there is space developing, Martin, just in front of the gate. So I think I've decided to shut up shop now.
Heskey. Cole can't quite reach it. He was trying to use the pace on the ball across him, but it took it to Thisas. Back by Gary Neville. Sheringham, when Scholes might have been better placed to head it goalwards. Heskey. Oh. It hasn't run kindly for England. Basinas can go again. Nikolaides. There were 4 forward for Greece. And they squandered the possession. 10 minutes left. At the moment, Germany lead the group. Davizas.
And that's it, that's what's going to happen now. And that's that little gap there. We do feel that England have got to stick a player or two in there, especially when the ball's going into the area. It's just going to be nodded out. It's going to drop 20, 25 yards out. And it's vital for England if it does that they've got a player there coming and pressing them, picking it up.
Head shaking from the supporters. They've read the statistics. England 5 World Cup wins in a row under Sven-Göran Eriksson. Greece 3 away defeats in Group 9. Just 1 win in their last 10 games, supposedly at odds with their administration. Disaster in their last game in Finland. But my goodness, they played with fantastic national pride here and no mean skill.
I think, as I said right at the top, it's almost as if the German coach has said, hey, listen, no one's expected you to do it, just go and enjoy it. And they've certainly done that up till now. They've asked every single question of England.
Well, Davizas asked me not to mention it, and I said I wouldn't till the last 10 minutes. We're there now. Emil Heskey has never scored against Davizas in an international or in a club game between Liverpool and Newcastle, or Leicester and Newcastle.
Well, now would be the fine time to put that record straight, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it just? But I think English fans will take a goal from anybody in these circumstances. McManaman, Beckham. Gerrard will be there first. Gary Neville. Now Ferdinand. Scholes. Nikolaides is offside. Gerrard.
Yeah, if used it better in the second half. Trevor Francis remarked at half-time that he felt England hadn't used the ball well, and he didn't. But they certainly improved that department. He used it much, much better.
England's only goal has come from a set play, a Beckham free kick. It's a Beckham corner. Referee says no handball. A different angle on it to Stephen Gerrard, who's now trying to curb Karagounis. He's taken a fair bit of curving, I must say. He has played well. And he's not alone in Greek blue today. Sheringham. Scholes. McManaman. Sheringham. In the way, Konstantinidis. And again.
That was super football. Absolutely top draw stuff.
Greece can launch an attack here with Lakis. Nikolaidis trying to give and go. That's got them in a couple of times in this second half. They're into the last 5 minutes, incidentally, in Gelsenkirchen. Still goalless. But that 1 point, should it be that way for Germany, keeps them ahead of England, who've got a little bit more time here. Ferdinand.
Just a little long. Just needed feeding in.
Well, there have been a lot of cautionary words from Sven-Göran Eriksson and some of his players in the build-up to this game. Don't take it for granted. Don't underestimate Greece. Words that are certainly ringing true at this particular moment.
Well, about 5 minutes for someone who's wearing a white shirt out there to make himself a national hero. I tell you, because that's what he'll become. If he can pinch a second goal for England.
Sheringham, who got the only one so far, with his first touch after coming on as a substitute. Heskey has got beyond Patatzoglu. That's a terrific header on the cover by Kassapis. Nikolaidis. What are the Germans going to make of Otto Rehhagel?
I suppose he'll not get freedom of a city, man. He'll probably get freedom of a country.
Well,
if this stays the way it does, and it stays the way it is in Germany.
Nikos Maklas, who played against England back in '94, the last time Greece played in this country. They were beaten 5-0, very different circumstances. It was a warm-up game for the World Cup for them. England were already out. And actually didn't pan out very well for Greece. England 5-0 winners at Wembley. Alan Shearer amongst the scorers that night. And Greece were a disaster in the United States. They lost all 3 of their games, the only time they've been in the World Cup finals. Heskey. England have to score unless Finland find a goal in Gelsenkirchen. You're never going to get those.
No, not right in the touchline, are you? It's amazing how many people just ease players out, overprotect the ball, but the decision never goes against the defender.
Stomach-churning anxiety for England. Not the end of the road, of course, but
the game's not finished, son. Come on.
Beckham. Andy Cole through the centre. Beckham trying to drive on himself. Still David Beckham. Times it has been almost a one-man band, the World Cup rescue mission, and another solo surge from the skipper.
Well, Terry Sheringham obviously there as well, Mark, but I just wonder, will Beckham pass up this chance? If ever they needed either the skipper or the number 17 beside him, well, it looks like it's David. If ever they needed the skipper to put it all together at a set piece, then my goodness, the moment's now.
Have a bet on David Beckham here. Well, might have been, but for the deflection. It is a corner.
It might have been, you know, as well. The deflection didn't take it very, very wide.
2 minutes past added time. Steven Gerrard making a late run into the penalty area. Headed out by Lakis. Karagounis can maybe help Greece keep it here. He's inside his own half when the ball was played, Maklas. And he's done a job for the team, even though he couldn't stretch away and get into a scoring position himself. He protected the ball so well, shielded it, the Ajax player. Free kick. Lakis. It is going right to the wire for England. Scholes. Sheringham for Scholes, deciding not to hit it first time, then went for the cross. Gary Neville doesn't take a touch, he whips it in. Santinides with a header away. Then Lakis. Becker. Gerrard!
They've been sneaking wide. Decent enough strike. Very aware, I think, of time running out.
Ante Naimi is helping England no end in Gelsenkirchen. A succession of saves from Finland's goalkeeper, keeping it at 0-0.
Well, I'm just looking at the time board, Martin. It's about to be shown to 65,000 at 4 minutes. That's a welcome sight, I have to say. This crowd have seen it. The tempo, the noise level will rise, I'm sure. It is.
Karagounis. Remember, if it is a playoff, Paul Scholes won't be available for the first leg because of his yellow card today. Will be against Ukraine. Lakis, Rio Ferdinand coming out. He had to time that. Otherwise it would be a stoppage time penalty against England. It's finished in Gelsenkirchen, 0-0. Germany haven't made the most of their final game. But England now, it's crystal clear here, an equaliser, and England top the group. And there's 3 minutes of stoppage time at England's disposal. Scholes, Sheringham, Steve McManaman. In from Gary Neville, Constantinides has missed very little. Beckham, McManaman.
Goodness me, it's such a wonderful flowing rhythm when he bends his foot around that ball like that.
Foul by Maklas on Keogh.
Oh, it's everyone's up, Rio Ferdinand, Keogh, and they're all making the way. One chance, one touch.
Knocked in by Becker. Out comes the goalkeeper and says, that's mine. And what a performance Greece have had from Nikopolidis. 2 minutes to go. Sheringham going for this one up early, and by doing that sometimes you get that sort of decision against Constantinides, who feels very hard done by.
No, they're not happy, was it? Constantinides. Well, the one thing you be sure, there ain't many chances coming along after this.
Well, with players like David Beckham, you do feel there are certain moments of destiny. Arguably the most recognisable footballer in the world. Yes! Yes for England! David Beckham has done it big time.
Well, if anyone asks you why football keeps people coming back and coming back, then you've had it all today. I said if anyone can pick a goal out, well, he's already a hero, but my goodness, where does this elevate him to? It's a quite exquisite free kick. He's totally baffled the goalkeeper. He doesn't know whether it's going to his right, his left. Beckham picks the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, and England must surely be through.
What a finish at Old Trafford from one of the Old Trafford kings. The referee still hasn't ended it. You imagine the scene in Gelsenkirchen, Germany in the dressing room, hearing this news, flattened by the news, nothing they can do about it. Their only hope rests with Greece. Amazing.
Well, keep the ball, that's all I would say. I assume that they know.
England, in the World Cup finals by the direct route. But what a topsy-turvy journey they've had to make today. A game that needed transforming. A game that needed a miracle worker. And David Beckham is that man.
Well, that roar, Martin, tells every one of the 65,000 that they scored in Germany. That's why they've almost taken the roof off here.
From hope to glory. Old Trafford now, open house for an England party. When it looked a few precious minutes ago as though there would be a huge sense of anticlimax, but David Beckham gave the game an extraordinary conclusion, just as Teddy Sheringham did when he came on to equalise the first time for Sven-Göran Eriksson with his first touch. Greece gave it the lot here and led twice with their first 2 goals against England in England, and it looked as though it was going to give them the win and England the desperation of defeat. But a year after Wembley and woe against Germany, it is all systems go for South Korea and Japan next summer. But they've learned some lessons today, Andy.
Yes, they have, Mark. It's been an unbelievable roller coaster of a ride. And I have to say, their captain in the last, 6 weeks has been an absolute giant on the football field. He's led his team better than most, I have to say. He's been a magnificent inspiration on the pitch, an ambassador of it. It's fitting, absolutely fitting, that that young man should have sealed it the way he did.
Well, this man who left the last World Cup finals in some disgrace. There was no national acclaim for David Beckham after Argentina in France '98. But what a changed person, how the captaincy has taken his own game forward, never doubting the talent. He said he wasn't a natural leader. Well, David, we all disagree with you now. You are Captain Fantastic. And never more so. But in stoppage time here, Teddy Sheringham from the international wilderness to play a major part for England. But just when the playoffs were looming large again, the playoff that Germany now face against Ukraine, England found something extra, and they'll be back here in November, probably against Sweden, to set in motion the preparations to try to scale the peaks of the footballing world. Quite a campaign under 3 different coaches, but a conclusion that none of us could have imagined.
I think not. I think not. I think everyone here expected England to win and go through, but not in the circumstances they've just done so. It's been unbelievable drama from the first minute to the 94th.
England 2, Greece 2, enough!
as about everything in my house tonight was about to get a good kicking. Gee, have you ever been through anything like that? 2-2 here, and do we owe Finland big time? Trevor Francis, Michael Owen, Alan Shearer. Does anybody have anything to say? Michael? I mean, you
Find him a voice, yeah.
Goodness sake. I'm thinking back on that UEFA Cup final of yours and the 3 goals over there. But an afternoon like that, have you endured an afternoon like that ever?
Unbelievable. I mean, I was so pleased when I saw the 4th official given 4 minutes extra time. I thought maybe, you know, and then they give us a free kick, and we thought last chance. And who better to put your last chance on than David Beckham? What a fantastic free kick, and you know,